Hi guys, and welcome to this other video. So today in this video we are going to talk about FortiGate SSL SSH inspection. So during this video we are going to talk about what is SSL inspection, the key functions, the difference between SSL inspection methods, the differences between the two SSL inspection methods. So we also talk about inbound and outbound SSL inspection. We'll try to understand exemptions and reputable websites. We'll talk about commonly known issues regarding SSL inspection, and we'll do some practicals. So talking about practical or activities, here are some 5 tasks that we are going to do at the end of this video. So basically we're going to have 4 tasks. Task 1 will go just enable and test SSL inspection, certificate inspection. So we'll do this on a random website, see if there's an SSL error message. So we're also going to do the test on 2 web browsers that are running different TLS versions. We'll also do task 2. This will be the same as task 1, but this will be based on SSL deep inspection. So we'll also see how to import and download the certificate on a workstation. So if you are working in a company with a large number of workstations, so you will not be able to import the certificate on each workstation at a time. So we'll also see how to use group policy to do to import the CA certificate and push it on all workstation. We'll also do another task on malware test file downloads. We'll see if inspection is working fine. Then the last task we'll talk about managing the logs. So we'll enable logs, then go jump into the logs to see if it is it is logging all the inspection, the SSL inspection that we are doing. So before we jump into the activity, let's take some few minutes to explain some key concepts regarding SSL inspection. So what is SSL inspection? So FortiGate uses SSL inspection to examine the encrypted SSL TLS traffic that goes in and out of your firewall to check for threats. So this inspection is done either through SSL inspection, certificate inspection. So this is a basic inspection method using just the certificate information to see if the website that you are going to access, the information that are on the SSL certificate are the good information needed to access that website. And the other method is deep inspection. So the deep inspection is where your FortiGate will need to decrypt the traffic, inspect the content of the traffic, then decrypt it before forwarding the packet. So the key functions of SSL inspection here is, as we said, threat detection. So inspection will check to see if there is any malware, any virus. Application control, so identify to see if there is specific application like social media or other categories that we need to operate on them. We also use SSL inspection to prevent data loss prevention. So this is going to be used to prevent your data from being exfiltrated over an encrypted channel. I also use SSL inspection for web filtering. So we can use SSL inspection for blocking some malicious websites. So talking about SSL inspection mode or method, so we have, as we say, we have 2. So the first is the SSL certificate inspection, as its name says. This mode is basically using the SSL certificate information. So FortiGate will inspect the certificate and the packet header. So this will checks for match between the site visited and the FortiGate and the certificate presented. So what we are going to do is FortiGate is going to collect some information on the certificates, the information like the issuer, the validity, and the domain before forwarding the traffic to the destination. In case there is any mismatch or there is any information that is not compliant, so action will be taken. So depending on the firewall policy, so action can be to block the connection or to allow the connection or to alert the administrators. So this inspection mode is based, as we said, only on the SSL certificates. You also have the second SSL inspection mode, which is known as the full SSL inspection or the deep inspection. So as its name says, in this mode, the traffic or the packet that is sent from one user to a server is intercepted by the FortiGate. FortiGate intercept the traffic. It will decrypt the content of the content initiated, or the content of the traffic that is initiated by the user. It will decrypt the content. It will decrypt the traffic, then scan all the content of the traffic to check if there is any malware that was injected in the content. If all is good, he will re-encrypt the content, then forward this to destination. So this is done in the two ways. So either the traffic coming from the user to the server, or from the server to the user. So this is what deep inspection is going to do. So for FortiGate to act like this, FortiGate needs to have a CA certificate. So a certification authority certificate. So by default on all FortiGate devices, you will have this default Fortinet CA SSL, which is a CA certificate that can be used for SSL deep inspection. FortiGate uses this Fortinet CA SSL certificate because when you are using the deep inspection, FortiGate will create two different sessions. So you as the user, you are using, let's say you are using a public key to access a website like example.com. So the server that hosts the example.com also have another key, which is a private key. So traffic between these two devices will be intercepted by FortiGate. FortiGate, using the Fortinet CA certificate or another CA certificate, will create a pair of keys. This is going to be a private key for communication regarding the session between the initiator and the FortiGate, and a public key for the communication between the FortiGate and the destination or the server. So this is one of the requirements that you will have if you need to use the FortiGate SSL inspection mode. So this is it for the SSL deep inspection. So deep inspection, also need to be noted that for deep inspection, because of the intense traffic that is done, it means you will need to your FortiGate will need to have good resources like CPU and memory, because in a large environment where multiple users will be accessing multiple websites, if you are doing deep inspection on all those websites, it means your FortiGate will be overwhelmed with traffic. So you need to take that in consideration when implementing deep inspection on your FortiGate. So talking about inspection, we also have like two directions, like inbound and outbound SSH inspection. So depending on what you want to protect, you can either use inbound traffic or outbound traffic. So for inbound traffic, here is the default method, which is the case where multiple clients are connecting to multiple servers. So this is the typical this is the typical way where many users in the company are accessing different websites over the internet. So here in this case, your FortiGate is using SSL inspection to protect the users. So you need to protect the users from the response that they are receiving from the external website that they are accessing. In the other hand, now you have the SSL inspection for inbound traffic. This used when, for example, in your company you have like a company server. This can be HTTPS server, web server, a mail server, for which you want external users to access. This can be internet users. We say this external users. So you are using, let's say, we in another video we did virtual VIPs, virtual IPs, where we saw how to configure an internal server so that people outside of our company can get access to it. So if you are in this mode, you need to use then the SSL inspection for inbound traffic, where you will be protecting protecting your internal company server. So for this case, you will need to provide your FortiGate with the SSL certificate of this server for that to be implemented. So FortiGate will use the server certificate to protect or to control all the traffic that is being received or which is being received and directed to the company server. So depending, we'll see this in the practicals. So talking about SSL inspection, as we said, SSL inspection is you are allowing your FortiGate to scan the content of a traffic. So we are if you are doing this, you also know that we need to provide like some exemption so that we can prevent. We need to prevent FortiGate from accessing all type of content. So why are we doing some exemption? Why are exemption needed? It's because for privacy and compliance, normally you will not let your information, critical information or sensitive information like banking information, healthcare, or people's personal information to be accessed by your FortiGate. So because of deep inspection, it means the FortiGate is going to scan the content of each traffic. So scanning the content means FortiGate will have access to private information. So exemption is needed on these some categories. So by default on your FortiGate, you see that you have these two categories that by default are already set here for exemption for SSL inspection. Also, you have a list of addresses here that you can add. These are addresses that for some compatibility issues in the company, there are some specific website for which when you do SSL inspection, traffic to those website will not work anymore. So for those specific traffic, like some application like VPN, Microsoft 365, voice over IP, Dropbox, and many other applications, by default those applications those websites are also listed here in the list of applications that are exempted from SSL inspection. So in this list, you can also add a new website or new applications. So apart from exempting this website, we also have what we call reputable websites. So reputable websites is an updated list of domain and IP addresses that FortiGate or FortiGuard Labs have already did some researches on it and have concluded that these websites are trustworthy. So this website can be websites such as Microsoft, Google, Amazon, or any. So for this website are trustworthy because on the internet with the reputation score, each website can have a score. So services that get reputable code, so higher score like 5 for Google, Microsoft indicate higher trust, while lower score suggests higher risks. So depending on the reputation score of each service or website, FortiGate or FortiGuard database can update that website as a trustworthy website. So also here you can also enable this reputable website information here, so that all websites that are being categorized as being reputable will be exempted from the FortiGate SSL inspection. So what are the common known issues? So before we talk about common known issue, it is better to do some activity to perform some tests. Then we'll come after to talk about the commonly known issues. I think this will make a better sense in that way. So let's jump on the FortiGate. So here I'm connected on my FortiGate device. So here what I'm going to do, I'm going under security profiles, then SSL SSH inspection. So before we start doing the activities, so the different practicals, let's see what we have here under SSL SSH inspection. So by default on each FortiGate device, you have these four profile SSL inspection profiles that are available. So you have the no inspection, which means, as its name said, if you apply this profile on the firewall policy, it means that the traffic accepted by that policy will not apply any inspection. You also have this deep inspection profile. You have SSL inspection, and the only inspection profile that you can edit or modify is this custom deep inspection. So the other one you can see are all in read-only mode. So this one are in read-only mode, so you can only apply them on FortiGate firewall policy without modifying or editing them. So something else that you can do, either you can edit the custom deep inspection profile that is here, or you can select another profile like this one, then you just do clone, so you duplicate. So like for me, this one is a duplicate of the deep inspection profile. So here under deep inspection profile, you will see that when you enable SSL inspection, as we said, you can have it in two modes. Either you have it in multiple client connecting to multiple servers. So this is the default mode. It means this is where people are accessing resources in the internet. So from here, you can either enable the SSL inspection. So if you go under SSL certificate inspection, the certificate inspection method, here the only protocol that you'll be inspecting here is the HTTPS protocol. Why, when you are in full SSL inspection, you can monitor other security protocols such as SMTP, POPS3. So here, if you are doing, you need to choose the inspection method that you want to use. So as we said, either you are using this multiple client connecting to multiple server. So this one is the outbound traffic. If this is when the traffic, you are controlling traffic going outbound, or you are using the protecting SSL server. So as we said, in this mode is where in your company you have a web server or a mail server where you want external user to get access, but you want to do SSL inspection for the traffic that is going to that server. So in that case, as we said in the slide, you need to provide the certificates of that server. So as we say, we saw in another video on how to manage certificates. So you go on that web server, you download the SSL, the certificate of that web server, you import the certificate on your FortiGate. Then from here, you can just simply select then the certificate from here. So when using it, you will protect the traffic that is going to that server. So let's come back from here. So if you are using deep inspection, as we said, you need to download this FortiGate the CA certificate. As we said, the CA certificate is required to generate public and private keys, because in the deep inspection mode, your FortiGate is acting like a man in the middle to protect the traffic or to control the traffic that is going on each side. So if we go below here under exemption, so as we said, we have also this here we need to do some exemptions. So from here, by default, we have the two categories. You can also add new categories. So if for any reason you want to exempt traffic that belongs to any of this category, you just select the category here. Then all traffic related to that category or for the website that are under that category will be exempted from here. You can also from here add a new application or any new website that you want to exempt from SSL inspection. So as we said, we are talking about SSL and SSH inspection. So we've already talked about SSL inspection where we talk about website and others. So we also have here SSH inspection where we can also enable deep scan on SSH inspection. So for the SSH, if your FortiGate is working, if you by default you left your FortiGate to work with SSH default port 22, so you left it here like on port 22. But if you configure it to work on another port, you need to provide the port number here. So enabling the deep scanning for SSH inspection means when you're connecting on PuTTY or using a CLI command line to access your FortiGate device, all the traffic or anything that is going through will be inspected, deeply inspected. So that's it. I I think for now, seeing the length of this video, I think I will do a new video where we're going to do the following activities. So I don't want this video to be so long, so I'll do a new video where we'll start directly on the activity, then we'll perform each of this activity. So guys, stay tuned. Let's meet in the next video.